another interview, and I'm very excited to welcome Neo10Y. Hello.
Hi, what's up?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me on, Ben.
Absolute pleasure. I've could have been watching your music and videos just over probably just the last year. I think I've kind of become aware of you, and just loving what you're doing. So interesting and as you kind of say, like genre bending, I think, sort of mixing it all up. So it's really great just to chat to you. And I have to say, one of the best setups I've seen on my Zoom interview.
Oh yeah, I
All as
mean, I
well.
don't know. I'm like quite particular about stuff, and I
Yeah,
just feel like I want to create, my world
your world.
always. But
Do you know, I
also,
had.
this is also just my bedroom. So yeah,
Well, you bring in your world into your bedroom. Do you know,
yeah.
I had an inkling that you might have some sort of nice setup. Just, I mean, watching all your visuals and music videos, I was like, yeah, I reckon there'll be something. I'm flat sitting at the moment, so I'm just, uh, this is what I've got. You know,
Cool.
I've got some cushions.
It looks comfy.
You
It
know,
looks
hey.
comfy. Yeah.
So, for anybody who is maybe not familiar with you, what can you say about what you do? I feel you're doing lots of different things, but yeah, tell us a little bit about
So
you and
I'm
why.
I'm Neo Tanwai. I'm a recording artist from South London, and I'm an advocate for a conscious future. And I feel that I make intention-based songs that are quite like cinematic, industrial, R&B, grunge, kind of alt pop, um, and they're quite like connected. Like all of my artistry is quite like connected to the universe and oneness and the sort of spiritual constructs that surround us all the time. And my lyricism is like made to like empower us to feel more connected with the universe. So that's what I do.
Amazing. And um, has that always been the case, like connecting all those things with your music, or has this kind of been a progression
I
over
think
time?
that I think that I I started making music. I started being a musician a long time ago when I was a
Mm,
kid, and I learned the piano and I learned how to sing. But it was all very quite like regimented
hmm.
and like structured and like classical piano. And then I feel like I broke away from that, and it took me like years to almost deconstruct that side of it, to like connect with instruments in a much more transcendental way. So I feel like now when I'm with an instrument, I'm like playing a song and I'm like at one with the instrument. And I don't know, I didn't always feel that connection, but like now I my art has been so I've been releasing music as Neo 10Y since 2016, mid 2016,
Okay.
and we're 4.5 years later now. So I've learned a lot in that time as well, and I feel like my progress as an artist has like evolved, and I'm much more like my songs are much more intention based
Mm,
now than they were right at the beginning. But I think that I was in like a more kind of like angry self-realization mood at the beginning, and then I applied that, and like that whole like documentation through my lyricism has been a documentation of a conscious and spiritual awakening of a human being as well. So
mhm.
that's what I think is cool and unique about like my discography and album.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very like unique perspective that comes through in the artwork as well as much as the music. And we'll definitely chat a little bit about your videos as well because I was enjoying just delving into them a little bit there. Um, so in terms of uh, like in this last year, then has that affected your kind of journey and what you're wanting to explore musically as well? Having this time in lockdown, how's
It's
that been?
been like it's been mixed because I think creatively it's been amazing,
Uh huh.
but I was just at the end of 2019 was like peak Neo 10Y performing on big stages.
Right.
So I had played the main stage at UK Black Pride. I had played, then 10,000 people came to that. And then I had played
Amazing.
for Billboard magazine in New York. And I had played a show in LA to like maybe, I don't know, like 3,000 people in one weekend. And for me, that was like a lot. And I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. So the sad thing for me for Corona is that I haven't been able to do that many live gigs. Although last year I did do one at the Royal Vauxhall Tavern in London,
Yeah,
which was amazing and like
I love
such
it
an
there.
iconic. Have you been there?
Yeah, I've played there myself as well. So yeah, I love it.
It's
Yeah,
amazing, right?
yeah,
I love that. It's like such an amazing energy. And
yeah.
I also had this like weird, um, and I say weird in the best way possible. It's like beautiful. Like it just seems it was weird because it was the most beautiful utopian night in the middle of this whole like Corona pandemic, where we in September on the 3rd of September it was a full moon, and we had 5 of us played on a swimming pool stage, like this big swimming pool stage, um, on the Thames under the full moon, and on this at these luxury property developments called Ballymore,
Uh-huh.
and venues called Good Luck Hope. We had this like moment, this one like moment in 2020, which was like, oh my God, it feels like amazing. But then that was like it. And but then from a creative side, it's been amazing because I wrote a short Quop 12 piece.
Hmm.
I wrote a Crackhead Angel during Corona. And I have written and I released 4 singles and 4 videos last year.
Mm.
And I released a single at the top of this year called Shortcut to World Peace as well, which is a very like intention-based song about love, energy, and manifesting a utopian future for all of us, through love, through choosing love. So I'm really happy that that came out at the top of this year. So I don't know. So it's been like mixed, basically. I've like really enjoyed some elements of um like COVID and like creatively. I don't think that maybe I never would have written Shortcut to World Peace
Mm.
without COVID happening. And I feel like I don't know. That's what I'm like as a person in the universe. I just react to what energies are around me. So like that's what kind of goes into my artistry and into my art. And some of it is like personal, some of it is like more philosophical, and some of it is more conceptual. But what ties it all together is that it's just like decoding and traversing the dualities of reality. And I think that that is what makes it like interesting for me as like an artist, but then also as like someone who understands art and
Mm.
the art and has studied art for like and music and pop stars and all of that for like since the beginning of time. I
Mm.
feel like I've learned more about myself through this process, and that's why I think everyone should be a pop star.
I agree. Why not?
Yeah,
Right? I mean, do you
human rights.
do
It's a human
you
rights.
yeah, yeah, do you call so your all these things that you're exploring like in your music, is that something that you kind of call upon your audience to then kind of explore as well? Do you expect them to
Yeah,
explore that or
I feel that it happens. I feel like the people that connect with my art are quite like progressive, spiritually connected, um, under like deep human beings, that um have like depth themselves and have that within them that they wanna, and then they like people who wanna like explore spirituality as well, and people who wanna like self-realize. So there's like a combination, but then also I can just play my songs to like a random person and they'll either like it or not like it, and it's just this, it's just like you've got to, I think generally people like it, or like I work with quite like classic chord structures
mm,
and writing structures, so I think people relate to it on that level. But people like sometimes I might be like too emo for someone. Do you know what I mean? But then I have like different songs that have different energies as well. So like some of them are more like sexy, and some of them would be a bit more like grungy. And you know, like I don't know, I'd have different moods, but
What's
then
your
those energies are all also present in all of them. It's like sexy, grungy, like um kind of, you know, like classical, kind of like emo, kind of like rock structures, kind of like pop structures, but like R&B vocals sometimes.
mm,
Sometimes like I met this lady called Ming, who is, she runs a vegan restaurant in East London called Vegan Yes. She's been giving me opera lessons,
oh cool.
and especially before Corona, and it's completely like changed my like skill set as a singer,
Mm,
which has in turn improved the whole of my like singing, if that makes sense.
mm. What's changed? What's the biggest change in terms of that?
I don't know. I feel like I I'm better at. I think my confidence has grown, and as my confidence has grown as an artist, I feel like my confidence as a performer has grown,
Mm,
and so I don't know. I just feel like it's just I keep improving, and that's a good sign to me, at least, because you want to keep improving, right? You don't want to like plateau or like, you know, and we can always learn. But like singing like an opera singer, it's like they sing out of their head like in this way that is like you just don't sing like that in pop all the time. But like I've learned to like sing like that, so that now when I sing, I don't know, I just feel like it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just I'm getting better, but like she's helped me get better in that
mm.
journey.
This is great. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's always good to be continuing learning the craft in whichever way, I guess. So that's cool. So we were speaking about live performance.
Mhm.
So say I'm going to a Neo 10Y show next week. Say that could happen. What would I expect from something like this? I really wish
Oh,
I saw you on the river, by the way, in September. That sounds amazing.
it was so good. It was so good. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Honestly, it depends on the show, but I love floor work. I love like like performing with the guitar. I love if there's a piano, I will perform with the piano. I will do like choreography. I
Mhm.
do like um I don't know. It's just everything. It's live vocals. It's choreography. It's like obviously like there's stuff in the track like as well. Like, and then if I've got budget, then I've got an additional bassist. We had live sitar once. My friend Tommy
Nice.
Kostler played sitar live. I can do it all. This is the thing. So I'm just like, give me the budget. It's like I'm ready. Like after Corona, I'm just like, come on, like let's go.
Yeah,
And it
let's
was
do
really
it.
nice that I got to curate the show for Ballymore, because you know I got to choose 4 other artists that came. So we had Michelle O'Faith, who is a Mobo. She just got the Mobo grant. My friend Lola
Amazing.
Coca, she has an amazing uh, album called Written in the Stars. She has 2 albums out now as well. The Only Child and Written in the Stars, and she's amazing. We've been friends forever, and we've kind of like grown up, you know, doing creative stuff together. And so she performed, and then Samson, who is a queer artist as well, and they have a new song out with Guess, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, and my friend Seven, she's amazing, and she has a song called Power and a song called Poison, and it's se.ve.en, and she's amazing. And so that was like our like 5 of us, we performed, and like it was just like so amazing, and everything was
Mm.
like all the food was vegan, and it was just like and we got to do it on the full moon, because you know we got to like curate everything, like even the date of the show, you know.
Nice.
So I was so grateful for that, and I just can only hope that more opportunities like that come through, because it will be really fun to keep doing like shows.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. They'll come. They'll come.
Yeah,
Just gonna hope the venues stay afloat as well, I think. But yeah, it will happen, I'm sure. um,
definitely. I feel confident about the like future.
yeah. Do you
Yeah.
do you feel like yeah? Do
Yeah,
you
I
feel
feel
it's
very
gonna?
confident. I think it's gonna be fine. I think it's gonna be better than ever.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
truly. Yeah.
That's that's good to hear. Good to say it loud as well. I think sometimes we just need to manifest
Yeah.
it a little bit. I think
Oh
sometimes.
yeah. All this
Um,
that Madison Square Gardens is coming. I'm very
okay,
excited.
great.
Yeah.
I'll be there to watch it.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your name, Neo10Y.
Okay, my name is Neo10Y, and that comes from a word in ancient Greek and Latin, which is neoteny, which means the retention of childhood characteristics in the adult. So that's a physical thing, but also like a spiritual thing. So it's about leading with an open heart and choosing love. And so that's why I loved the word originally. And then I made it like Neo 10Y, which is like 10Y. And the 10 is both pieces of binary code together, and it's complete binary code. And my name in Sanskrit is Nikhil, which means complete. So there's a parallel with my birth name ancestrally, but also my artist name and the construct within my artist name. I'm also a non-binary person, so that having that binary code together is like great because I have gender euphoria and I love all of the energies that flow through me, and I'm very grateful for that. So and then the why is, I think curiosity is such an important thing for us to ask questions so that we can in turn uh, decode our reality and better understand the future from understanding the past. And I think that it's really important to ask questions and choose love. And
Mm.
so, and Neo is also Neo, which is an anagram for one. And oneness is this whole philosophy of what I'm saying about that we are the universe and the universe flows through us, and that we are connected beings, and that we have the ability to create a utopian future for humanity in the world that we live in.
I mean, amazing. How did that come together quickly? Did you think about that a long time? Like, there's
So
so
I
many
can't take credit.
elements to that.
Yeah, I can't take credit for it because it's 100% the universe. Like I was given this like breakdown over the course of like a couple of years, and look, it's 4.5 years later, and now I can like stand here and eloquently like explain my
Uh-huh.
name and why it exists to help humanity and why my message exists and my purpose. But I wasn't always able to do this and like be so eloquent. So I have to like just be grateful that how the name has come to me. And that's why I ask on my single Crackhead Angel, I say, and if I'm dead, then what's the name for? Or am I too complex to save you all? Because it's like when I this name and this depth, I'm like, it's a gift to me because from the universe, it's like you know what I mean. I'm just a vessel that is transporting this message of oneness at this point in time, and so I'm just like grateful that I am also the human right now that gets to like do this because I feel it's fascinating to me, and I wasn't always a spiritually enlightened person. My spiritual enlightenment has grown with time
Mm.
and with artistry and understanding and like self-realization and all of the, like these processes. And it's only now that I'm realizing that we are at a stage in time where the veil is so thin between 3D and 5D and between like the physical and the spiritual realm. And this is all because of quantum physics, and it's all because of like quantum everything is, we are living in a simulation essentially. So it's my art, if my art can prove this, then it can help people open their minds and their hearts and better understand themselves so that we can manifest world peace.
I mean, it's so many things I could just ask about all of that, right?
I
That's
mean, go
great.
for it.
Yeah. Well,
Whatever
okay.
you want.
So you said something about being a vessel, I think, about like how
Yep.
that was your music was being there. Um, which I think is a really interesting like concept. Do you know Suzanne Sunfur, a
I don't
singer?
know.
Um, I think she's Scandinavian. I can't remember where exactly she's from, but she released an album maybe like last year. But I saw her perform live at the Barbican, and
Cool.
it was a very theatrical kind of show as well. But she had this quote, which is on the album, which is someone talking about life, like happens to you and through you, as and like we're just the vessel for it happening. I'm
Yeah.
not explaining that quote very well,
No,
but
no,
just
no.
whatever
It's
you
a
said
the
there, like, is the
universe. The
same kind of
universe
idea.
creates itself through itself.
Yeah.
So we are just elements in that,
Mm.
and our consciousness at this point in time is in part to what the universe needs us and wants us to understand so that we can serve whatever purpose it is as creatives, artists,
Mm.
musicians, world peace activists.
Yeah. Well, and music's such a powerful tool for uncovering so much of that stuff as well, and the messages that you can bring
Ethereal.
it. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You also said gender euphoria. Did I pick
Yeah.
that up right?
Yeah.
Tell me a little
Yeah.
bit. Tell me a little bit about that.
So I'm non-binary, which
Mm.
means that the energies that flow through me are male and female, so a complete spectrum of
Mhm.
energy. And so non-binary as a spectrum is like, imagine like a color spectrum. It's kind of like that. It's like all of these different energies and things that make you feel that you are at one with the universe. And I'm just like so grateful to like have that, you know, understanding and like feel complete within myself at a time when, you know, there's so much like anger and frustration about gender.
Mm.
um I just think that if you want peace, you'll understand that everyone is non-binary, and um that will mean that we have a future that is free of violence based on gender and sex and
Mhm.
sexuality. And so if everyone on the planet understands that we are all non-binary and we are all pansexual and that love is love, then I feel like we would reach utopia much more quickly.
Mm. Yeah. Wow. It's really. I've never heard that phrase used before. Gender euphoria. I really love that. The way you talk about that there as well was amazing. Um, so thank you for telling us a little bit about background stuff. Yeah, like I said, I'm sure there's so many questions. I'm sure people are gonna want to discover more and more as well, which I'd recommend doing in all your work. But in terms of your work as well, like um, you've kind of spanned film, fashion, music. Um, what what do you see being the focus in the future, or is that just see what
Yeah.
happens?
So I've done like making videos and making images has always been there. That's the thing that almost started it all for
Mm-hmm.
me. And I have done it with like brands, and I had a label called Ada and Nick for like 3.5 years with my friend, and it was really cool. And we won the Gen Art Prize at New York Fashion Week, and we used to show at London Collections Men. It was all like beautiful pieces and stuff like that, but it wasn't as sustainable as I needed it to be from my heart, if that makes sense. So I'm much happier now doing like ethereal constructs. And I think video will always be a big part of my narrative and my future as an artist. I've been
Mm.
working on some like TV ideas to like expand I'm ready to like expand this universe
Okay.
whenever, right? And I'm doing it at the moment through my music videos, and I have like 11, 12 music videos now, which is part of it. And we're going to shoot a music video for Shortcut to World Peace in the next couple of weeks. So I'm just like
Oh, great.
keeping on. Sorry, say that again.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying that's great. You're getting a music video together for that song. That's
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted it to have like the music video it deserves, and
mm.
I've scaled it. It was like I've got this whole like TV pilot construct, and then I was going to incorporate it into that, and I was like, no. Then I was like, no, Shortcut just needs a music video by itself, and so we're going to do a music video for Shortcut by itself. But then, like in the future, when I do a TV thing, then all of these songs are going to be in the narrative of the TV show as well.
Great. I was just checking out a bunch of music videos before chatting to you as well. It was really great to see so many spots in London also. So the Greenwich Tunnel, I just noticed you dragging someone up some stairs.
Yeah,
I
dragging
was just
myself. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I was just there I went walking there at the weekend, so I was like, oh, it's Greenwich.
Oh, that's
Um,
good synchronicity, isn't it, Ben?
yeah, yeah, it's yeah,
That's
exactly.
lovely. Yeah.
Um, and one of your more famous ones was in New York, right? Your music
Mhm.
video in New York as well. Can you tell us a little bit about the story
Yeah, it was
behind
in
that one?
2016 is when I started the project, and I released some singles and a music video, a three-part music video, and it's called "The Kid That Killed Trump," and it has this Mickey Mouse head in it.
I thought I
Um,
recognized.
yeah, and then Trump is like somewhere floating around on that side of
Okay,
the
great.
room, but
We died.
um, yeah, but he's also we set him on fire. There's been a few Trump masks in this narrative, but so the video, I was the first time that an artist. So part of the reason that I came up with a name that was not mine to release music was because I was anonymous at first. Like I didn't do this because I released the first song I ever released was an anti-Trump song called America with three Ks, and it was like a commentary on white supremacy and like America and blah blah blah. Before any mainstream artist had ever released anything like that,
Hmm.
right? And it was just because I was like at this point, and it was just divine timing that I was like frustrated enough with the mainstream that no one was speaking up about this, and I was like, I'm just gonna do it and be a pop star and do it anonymously. And I just released a song. I did not expect to be here like 4.5 years later, like almost 5 years later, in a much more like serious like way of doing this. It's like evolved, and I'm like really grateful for that. But that video had like was quite shocking, and it got deleted a bunch of times. It must have got like, I don't know, a couple of million views in total across various platforms. But then it has yeah, it resulted in a lot of like I got a lot of hate mail, and like
Oh,
it's
wow.
quite fun because the thing is, I talk about love, and I know I talk about like love, but I do it in quite like a passive aggressive bipolar way as well sometimes. So I think that that can come across. I'm like, but I do it in art. So I'm doing my way of like doing non-violence is like through the medium of art, and like through like creating a narrative. And it's like, it's not like, it's like saying that every TV show writer that writes about a white supremacist or whatever is like, you know what I mean? Like it's just fiction as well.
Mm,
I'm like, as much as I'm a real person, this is like a hybrid reality.
right.
And so yeah, Neo Tom White in video does like has done some controversial things. But
Did
then I
they?
used to go to like Trump rallies, anti-Trump rallies and stuff like that. I don't know.
Mm,
It was just like part of it for me for a while, like going to protests and like being an activist and like
well,
doing
what a way to start your
yeah.
music video career. So, do you think having this musical character, musical persona, helps you in some ways to get into like different personas, different characters, explore different things?
Yeah, I think so. I think that I've challenged myself through art to like be a better performer and like just to be a performer. Like for the first year of releasing music, I didn't even do live shows. I did like uh acoustic guitar. I always used to play acoustic guitar and stuff like that. But like to do like a show, I'd never like done a show before. And then when I start like the first time I ever did one of those was in London, and it was because I don't know if you know. Do you know Amarasu? Star Amarasu?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
So she was coming, she was on a European tour, and she was like, let's do a gig in London. And I was like, I've never done a gig before. And I was like, but okay, like if you're gonna get me to like do a gig, I'll do a gig. And so we did
That's
like
very
a
cool.
gig together once in London on August the 25th, 2017. I remember all the dates. I'm such a nerd. And
That's great.
um, I know it's weird, right? And so yeah, we did that, and that was the first time I did a gig. And then after that, it's just been so easy. Like I'm like, oh my god, this is great. I love doing this, and I'm like super confident. And it's like I'm a rock star on stage now. I will pull out a guitar. I was like saying it earlier in the thing. Like I was just like I'm like done. I'm like at that level now, and I've gotten to that point just through like practice and conviction and just the wanting to do it.
Hmm.
And so I don't know. I'm just grateful for all the stages that I have been booking, and I hope it continues.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's cool. What a cool gig. Amaras is releasing new music, right? that coming this year?
Yeah, yeah, she's been in Brazil working on a record. Yeah, she's amazing.
Very cool. Okay, so career highlights so far.
I mean,
Any?
the whole thing, the whole experience, the whole journey has been truly the highlight, and I would definitely die happy. Um, but I've still got stuff that I want to do. I love playing for Billboard in 20 and the end of 2019 in New York was like definitely a highlight for me to be booked by like by Billboard, like such a an amazing
Absolutely.
people who do like the BBMAs and all that. I'm just like, what? That's amazing. And then I'm so grateful. I loved playing the main stage at UK Black Pride.
Hmm.
I was like, I don't know, I've
Was that
like
when it
for
was
me
in Hackney or
yeah,
Liverpool?
yeah. For me, the real highlight of like the last 4.5 years is just my songs, like having these songs and like Stand Yourself is like mine. It's like,
Mm.
Cracked Angel is like mine. I'm just like, what? Like I can't believe it, dopamine. Like I'm like, oh my god, these are my songs. Like when I was a kid and I was like worshiping pop stars and artists and like, you know what, I was like such a music nerd. I just never thought, because it was just never a tangible reality for someone like me at that point in time. Whereas now with the internet and with like the freedom that goes along with like being an independent like person, whatever it is, artist, influencer, creative, like, someone who's making their own way in this reality on their own terms as much as possible, so much as possible. That's the beauty of, living and being alive at this point in time. And I think that's what we should all be grateful for as human beings that share this experience right at this moment in time, is that we chose to come here to this planet at this time. And so we should be grateful for that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there is a young Neo 10Y somewhere in the world listening and
Yeah.
watching you right now, what would you say to them if they were thinking,
Because so the beauty of that question is that our future selves are talking to our current selves all the time, right? So I, as my current self, would love to say to like the little kid version of me, it's just like keep doing exactly what you're doing, but just like always choose love and choose freedom. I would say the only like regret I had, I wish I had been born vegan, or I was vegan from like a much younger age. Um, and it's not a regret, but I think also it was meant to be like I was meant to like, like not be vegan for a long time, and then to like have the realization, because it's made me more like intent on like helping amplify love. And that would be a thing that I would say to my kid self, maybe. Yeah.
maybe, hey,
Well, yeah, as in like, yeah, I mean, I definitely, I don't know, maybe just being like, I don't know, I would say, I don't know, because I truly believe that I'm only given the awareness that I'm given at this point in time that is destined. So I don't want to like, I don't have regrets in that sense.
yeah, well, that's a nice thought. Right? Mm. Where you are right now is where you're meant to be. That kind
Yeah,
of idea. Mm-hmm.
100%, 100%.
Well, I'm very glad that you found yourself here chatting with me. I really have enjoyed that and getting to know you a little bit more. I hope that I get to see you in real life in outside world and performing at some point as well. That'd be really lovely.
Yeah, definitely. We need to do more London gigs.
Oh, I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm ready. I'm ready so
yeah.
much. Um, well, Neo 10Y, thank you so much for chatting to me. Real pleasure to play your music on the show as well.
Thanks.
And look forward to that music video coming out as well.
Yeah.
Shortcut to Rock Peace.
All
Watch
right.
it out. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thanks very much, Ben.
Thank
All
you.
right. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.